I'm going to show you the exact campaign that we use to generate leads for as low as $3.20 in Staten Island in New York to even as low as 98 cents in Canadian dollars in Halifax in Canada. This is the campaign which gets the highest ROI across all of our partners that we've worked with on Meta ads. So let's get into it. I'm just going to share my screen and show you how we do it. So here, when you're going to create a campaign, you're going to click create and then leads. What you also do need to consider is that 1 in 4 buyer leads normally own a home. But when we actually implement our affluent targeting stack, that does go up to 40% for the clients that we work with. And so running a buyer campaign is actually going to provide you with a higher cash ROI when it comes to running Meta ads. However, if you do want to just save time, then seller ads would be the way to go. But do note that your ROI is going to be lower. But I would say buyers in the current market would be a good idea since it is a buyer's market and because listings are typically sitting there in most markets. So I would say buyers is the way to go because you will still pick up sellers off the back of these buyers. And the other thing to note is that when people are looking to sell, they're normally looking to buy first. So we kind of catch them early in the journey and that way we can build a relationship with them. And then by the time it is time to sell, then you are now the go-to agent for them. So here we're going to click continue. We're going to name this campaign. Let's just name it buy campaign for now. And then we're going to set the campaign budget. We're going to set that to, I would say, absolute minimum you want to be doing is, I would say, like $10, $15 per day. If you can spend more, then great. Your lead cost is probably going to be between, normally like on average, $3 to $7 per lead. So keep that in mind to work out like how many leads you want. I would, on the low side, be aiming for like 80 leads per month. So that you can consistently close like 1 deal per month. Just note that obviously you're not going to close, or it's very unlikely that you're going to close 1 deal in the first month straight away, because the average transaction cycle is 3 months in real estate. So do keep that in mind. Don't, just do this and expect quick results. Make sure you've, allocated 3 months worth of budget to this. So next, we're going to check these. And that's all fine. So here, actually, sorry, we do need to select the housing category and then select the country that you're in. So that way, let's just say we're in the US. We would select this, select the US, can remove this, and then click next here. This should go away. Here, then you're going to put in open. We're going to target 2 different audiences. So the first one's going to be open. We're not going to put any like restrictions on Meta. We're just going to say go find us the right people, and it's extremely good at it. So we're going to leave that as is. And then here, you're going to put in the location that you want to target. So here, we're just going to put in, let's just say New York. So that's gone and targeted New York now. I think this was, not sure if this was the state or the county. Yeah, so apparently the New York County, so that would be targeting New York County. Normally we do have a 15-mile minimum radius. However, you can actually target counties, which is something I don't think anyone else knows, apart from the people I've told. But that's something that you can use where relevant. So this is something we used in Manhattan because Manhattan is its own county, basically. So we were able to get around the 15-mile radius and just target that specific area. However, normally, what's going to happen is you're going to put the radius, it's going to be 15 miles or 25 kilometers, and then you would just be targeting people here or people who live in or were recently in this area, and that's how you're going to do it. Otherwise, yeah, you can select the county. If you want to be, if that helps you be more specific, you can do that. Or if you have multiple counties, you can put multiple counties in. Next, we're going to go down here, just check these settings. That's all fine. Click next. And here you're going to create your ad. So we're going to put in grid 1, copy 1. So here normally we're using like grid images. So these are pictures of 3 front of homes and 1 kitchen. And we just create this on Canva. It's very, very easy, straightforward. So let me go ahead and grab that image. So what it will look like is something like this. We'll have the 3 front of home pictures and then a kitchen. And then what you're going to do is then create that image on Canva. You're gonna then be, where is it? It was moving things. So here, set up creative, click image add. And I probably have an example here. So we're gonna go ahead and select that. Just click original on all of these, click next. And here we're gonna put in the ad copy. So we have our own ad copy, which we use for basically every client. Here, if there are specific incentives that are in your market, you can add these in. So for example, if there's any government schemes going on, you can be more specific and mention them, because that's gonna attract more people and make it more specific for your market. But otherwise, if you don't have that, you're just gonna put in the city here. So let's just say we're doing, I don't know, New York City. And then we're gonna change it here as well. Just remove this here. And that's your ad done, basically. You're just gonna then also put in your headline and description. And then you're gonna select learn more here, as that's the statistically that's the best call to action to put in on meta ads. Here, if you do speak any of these languages, I would leave that in. If you don't, then it's pretty pointless targeting people that speak these languages, unless they also speak English. So that would be more of a judgment call depending on your market. Obviously if you're in certain areas where people mostly speak Spanish, but you don't speak Spanish, then make sure to turn Spanish off, so that you can be reaching the right people. So let's just say I'm going to take all of these off. I'm going to click next. And then what I'll also do is I'll put a link to, all this ad copy, so that you can use it in your ads, in the link in the description. So make sure to check that out so you can use it. And then what you're going to do is then set up the form. So where is it? Here. So create instant form. You're going to build your own unique form. And then here, just name it foreclosure form. Maybe put the date in, if you want to just keep track of the different forms that you're creating, and it will help you kind of stay a bit more organized going forward if you're making some changes, but this will work quite well, so you probably won't need to. But if you do need to make changes, if you want to improve, let's say, the quality of the leads, then how you would do that is typically be asking more questions. But you want to be very strategic about how you ask these questions, which I'll show you an example of in just a second. So here you can leave this as optimized. In fact, don't leave it optimized, because otherwise they might start changing the questions that they're asking. So here you just want to click open, and you can leave all of that. Click done, click next. You want to remove the greeting, it's just added unnecessary friction. Here we want to add in conditional logic, and this is a question which we have implemented into our clients' campaigns, which has increased the lead quality by almost double, but the cost per lead has only gone up by about 20%. So this is, yeah, a game changer, to be honest, because we're getting much higher quality, much better results, and yeah, it's a no-brainer. So what you do is you click multiple choice, click how soon are you looking to buy, type that in, and then you're just going to put like the different time frames in, like ASAP, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, 12 plus months. And then here's the key bit. We're going to put in an option to say not looking to buy. So now if they click this, they're not coming through as a lead. And now we're teaching the algorithm to get us higher quality leads by only sending us people that are clicking, by only sending us people who are similar to the people clicking any of these options that are looking to buy. So if you're an agent who's, dealt with leads in the past and most of them are renters and you don't want that, then this is going to make a huge difference to you as well, just by default, because these people are saying they're looking to buy within these time frames. So here now what we're going to do is click submit the form here, click this end page for leads, and now these are going to go to this end page for the leads, E1. We're going to click this for speed, and then just change this one to close the form. So what this means is it's not going to let them submit their information, so they won't come through as a lead, and that's how we can train the algorithm to give us more of what we want and less of what we don't want, or none of what we don't want, actually. Here we're going to just put in a little disclaimer thing here, which is, where is it? Yep, here. And then what we're going to do is just reorganize this if you can. Okay, so you used to be able to do this. Okay, wait, you can do it like this. So delete that, delete this one. Oh, sorry, add the email now, because it won't let me delete it. Then you can delete this. And you just want to have it in order of easy to hard. So it's easy to get a name, it's harder to get a phone number, so we're going to put that at the bottom. Don't make these optional. We need this information to contact them. And then what you can do is then click next. If you want to put in your privacy policy, you can do that, or else you can just click that and it's gone. And then what you're doing here is you're going to set the end page for the leads. So whatever your next step is, you can put your headline in, you can tell them, exactly what next step you want them to take. And then you can put your link in here. So this can, go like wherever you want it to. I would recommend like a survey to get more information, or like a calendar, so that you can get like a booked appointment from these people. Or, it could be anywhere. Like those are the two that we typically recommend. Or in our case, we also use like a VSL page. We have a micro to macro commitment funnel. So we would send them to a survey, then to a calendar, and then a VSL page, which is like, so VSL stands for video sales letter. It's something that's been used in the marketing and consulting industries for at least a couple of decades now to sell billions of dollars every year. You can think of it like a digital home buyer presentation or like a digital listing presentation. It's something that pre-sells the lead on working with you before you potentially speak to them. And yeah, it's just a video. It's like 10 to 20 minutes long normally. And it goes through like why someone should work with you, case studies, of clients you've helped in the area, going through the home buying or selling process with them, answering frequently asked questions, and then having a call to action in the middle and at the end of the video to say like book an appointment with me. So you could send people, if you have a video or like some sales asset like that, you could send them there as well. Make sure you name this. So you want to name this as like a benefit. So for example, get the list, for example, because we're running a foreclosure campaign that offers a list. You could say like get the list, or speak to an agent, or whatever makes sense based on what link you're putting in here. You can do that. What we would normally do is we're using like we'll be in touch today, just to let them know that we're going to contact them here. And then we'll basically tell them like, if you want it right away, just click the link, and then we'll put the link here. And then for the call to action text, we would put give me my list. And then here then we'd also put the link in. On the end page for non-leads, you can use this as like an opportunity to maybe send people to your website, send people to your Instagram. These people are not like qualified, so there's not much you can really do with them, but there could be some benefit that comes from it. If you send them to your Instagram page, maybe they follow you, maybe 6 months later they're looking to buy or something. So you can use this however you want, just to gain something at least from these people. And then I would also be taking this, start conversations on Messenger, so that when leads come through, it will automatically start a conversation on Messenger with them as well. And they may message you as well. There's no like downside of doing this. There's only upside. So it just kind of covers another base for you on Messenger as well. And then you should have like all your automation, like your SMS and email and stuff going off when leads come through anyway. Next, you want to click create form, and then you have your form created. And now you just need to create your other audience, which you're going to just duplicate this ad set or audience. You're going to duplicate that. Click duplicate original setup. Click duplicate. And now we're going to create our interest-based audience. So we're just going to type in interests there. And then what we're going to do is put in all of the different interests that we have that we want to be targeting. So if we click, you might need to click here, switch to original audience options, click further limit the reach of your ads, and then continue. And then what you can do here is type in a bunch of different targeting options, like for example, home equity loan is one we normally use, so you could add that in. What I'll do is we actually just have a list that I just copy and paste in. Let me just find it. Here it is. So I'll typically just copy and paste all of these in, and now I have all of them showing up here. And I'll put a link to this in the description for you as well, so you can do the same. And then now you're just going to check the creatives there, and all of that is all okay. Once you check the audience or the ad set here, so that's all fine. Just going to make sure this is all correct. Make sure the form is selected as well. So you need to, where is it? Yeah, so it looks like this is selected. It looks a bit different, but yeah, that looks selected. Make sure it's selected on the other one. And then you also want to make sure you have your Facebook page here. You select your Instagram profile here, and then you can now go to your campaign, click publish, and that's going to have your ads running. So it's just in case, sometimes it's a bit glitchy. You may need to also click publish here on the ad level on both ads, and then maybe even on the ad set level, just in case it doesn't work for some reason. Just double check that. And what it should say is like processing, or yeah, it says something like processing. And then that's how you know, or it will say publishing or processing, I can't remember. And it will then be running your ads within probably about 24 hours. Is normally, so sometimes it will take a few hours, sometimes it will take longer to start running the campaigns. But within a day, you should have your campaign running, and then within normally the first 24 hours of running the campaign, you should start seeing your first few leads come in. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as I'm going to be putting out a lot more value for you all to grow your business. Thanks.